That's it? The only explanation we're getting for what happened to Elle after taking out the Demogorgon is that she just magically transported to the Upside Down? But why? She disintegrated that thing. Did its ashes somehow become a transporter? Everything we've seen so far in the show indicates the passages to and from the Upside Down are tangible physical pathways. One of the underrated aspects of the Upside Down is its love for symmetry. You couldn't center that portal any better on the cougar paw if you tried, exhausting yourself to expand a hole that you could have already just crawled through. Heavy-handed symbolic parturition.
We're all patriots in this house.
The Duffer Bros try to convince me that self-respecting Indiana residents would root for the Patriots instead of the Colts, which would have just gotten their start in the state's capital city 6 months prior to this season's beginning. And I'm not buying it. You might convince me Mike's family is full of Lions fans, but not the Patriots. Just kidding. There are no Lions fans.
I know it's difficult to accept. The stories she told you were not true.
Wait, this is the FBI, right? Do they not have anyone watching the outside of the house? How is Elle able to get this close? This large of a trained search party somehow forgets how to look under things. Stranger Things, too. Isn't it cute when TV shows pretend they're movies? You're so adorable, ST. Now quit thinking you're a movie just because you know how to count.
Oh, Jesus.
Being jump scared by your child instead of chastising them for cutting holes in one of your bed sheets. As Hopper and Eleven sit down to enjoy some French toast together, I'd just like to point out that it took exactly 8 minutes for everything to get back to normal on this show and completely neuter Eleven's sacrifice from the end of season 1.
What are you doing?
Peeing?
With the seat down? Also, that's pretty tame compared to what teenage boys usually do when they lock themselves in the bathroom. Plus, not locking the door when you go to the bathroom. And not knocking before you enter the bathroom. So, 3 sins? Yeah, that sounds fair.
Oh my God, I love this costume.
Me too. I'm curious exactly who made them at this level of detail and exactly how they pulled it off, and also why they had to show up the entire neighborhood. Insecurity much?
Why is no one else wearing costumes?
Probably because they knew it'd be super uncomfortable to sit in a costume all day. Think about how long you actually wear that costume during trick-or-treating. It's like 45 minutes. After that, you shed the costume and eat your candy. Why? Because costumes aren't comfortable. And now you have to haul that proton pack around for the next 8 hours. That's why, Dustin.
And we have no choice. We gotta do this. It is now or never.
Setting aside Dustin's sudden and demonstrably false deterministic worldview, can we just think about what's being said here for a second? That final sentence completely negates the previous 2 sentences. If it's now or never, then you literally have a choice between now and never. And if you gotta do it, then never isn't even a choice. Why must I be the only one concerned with linguistic integrity?
Why would he lie to me?
He's a kid, Joyce.
Liars. I mean, kids.
Brings me back old times.
What?
You know, sharing my cigarettes between...
5th and 6th period.
Nicotine nostalgia. Nicostalgia?
God, I want this to be over.
Thing Winona Ryder said during the recording of season 4 somehow makes it into the script for season 2. Now that's some Stranger Things. This is just poor hazmat glove procedure. Have you never seen Drag Race? You gotta tuck or tape that thing, and often both.
Okay, so how did you feel when you saw the storm?
Why is Owens watching this playback on what looks to be a series of surveillance monitors? You don't have a better way to replay this recording?
Barbara. It's like everyone forgot.
Actually, Nancy, it's kind of the opposite. It's like everyone glommed onto that character so strongly that the show now can't stop talking about her. It's too late, Netflix. You killed her. Move on.
Hey. It's
Never.
We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, totally. You'll come?
There will be a day I do not remove a sin for Dustin. But dear friends, today is not that day.
Inhuman. Relentless. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the term.
Telekinesis visioning away from the Terminator. Who the f taught Elle to skin an animal? I don't remember seeing that as part of her training at the Institute. Also, building a fire away from your shelter. I've seen enough Discovery Channel survival exploitation shows to know you take that kill back to your shelter to cook. Using 3 cops to take one man's statement about crop poisoning. Look, deputy, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to get some paperwork done or maybe go on patrol or maybe arrest a delinquent teen. What? It rhymed. Eventually.
Hawkins' very own Chinatown.
Show makes me consider which characters would be at the center of the ramifications of this assertion.
You're right. We're stuck here. And whose fault is that?
I know we're going for a Stephen King vibe here, but did you have to bring over the bully who bullies so hard they might as well have just worn a sign around their neck that said bully and saved us all some time cliche? Apparently, these 3 went to the Rickon Stark School of Bicycling Away from Things.
Yeah, that was a close one, huh?
This line delivery.
What's that, Mad Max?
I mean, it's not like she was the one behind the wheel. You know she's too young to drive, so why say her name like that? Thinking you need to touch it to understand that a tree covered in thick mucus is a stranger thing.
You got any marking flags?
Asking a private citizen to provide equipment for your investigation. You got two guys at the other site. Have one of them run to the hardware store. Preferably the one who touches things without gloves.
I hope it doesn't suck.
I'm not sure what kind of costume teeth these are, but they are not vampire teeth. And for someone who put this much effort into the rest of their costume, that's a huge overbite. Oversight.
Hey, Will, don't let any of your spazzy friends use this, all right?
Not only irresponsibly letting your brother go, despite the fact that he's increasingly having medical episodes, but trusting an expensive piece of electronic equipment you don't own to a bunch of middle school kids. He's Will Byers, not Sammy Fableman.
I hope it doesn't suck.
Stealing someone else's lame joke and thinking it's better because you're self-aware about it. I hope you know it sucked. This idiot dressing up as Cobra Kai means that the Karate Kid movies exist in this universe, and now Netflix can never give us the Stranger Cobras crossover show we all deserve. Also thinking that this kind of party would ever happen in Hawkins, Indiana. I grew up in a small Midwestern town. You're lucky to get 6 people together to play Uno. Hey, wait, didn't you say the two of you had been working on these Halloween costumes for way too long? You got me all excited to see something amazing, but you put on a suit jacket and Nancy has a nice shirt? Joel Goodson and Lana from Risky Business? You could have chosen so many other amazing, more known characters. Stroker, Ace, and Pembroke were right there. Not buying a big enough TV to fill the TV square on your fancy 80s home entertainment cabinet.
My parents are selling their house in Maine.
Maine? Why are you so horny on Maine? What, you're going to wake up every day, go pick some blueberries, and then have a lobster roll for lunch at Red's Eats? Yeah, right. Mainers don't actually eat at Red's. It's a total tourist trap.
Seriously, I could just eat like a whole bowl of nougat, like straight up.
Kids.
You're dead.
The sound department beefs up the first gunshot to make it sound more like an actual gunshot because they know Hopper would never react this way to a toy gun noise, but need the audience to be scared.
Hey, kid. Give me some of that candy, would you?
Trying to pull a reverse stranger with candy. Also, who is this kid and why is he alone in the middle of a creepy field without adult supervision at night? I mean, I know it's the 80s, but what the f***?
L-A-T-E. Late.
Show turns into Sesame Street for a bit, but refuses to admit that Snuffleupagus was born in the Upside Down.
Like, seriously, rich people are such suckers.
The theme of every movie and TV show made in the early 2020s somehow makes it into the episode.
Trick-or-treat freak!
Roll halomercials.
I couldn't find you. Are you hurt?
If you couldn't find him, I'd like to know the series of events that led to you running through this alleyway, down these stairs, and looking behind this brick wall. Stop showing vomiting on screen. You can just make the noises off screen. We'll get the gist. We don't need to see Bubba lose his pure fuel. I'm always surprised in parties with loud music and everyone doing their own thing that somehow the entire room knows to stop and awkwardly stare at our main characters when something like this happens. It's a level of cringe gravity I don't often see outside of TikTok. The more I watch Harrington in this show, the more angry I get that no one thought to give him flash forwards where he can be played by Ben Schwartz. Floor candy.
Hey, well, if we're both going crazy, then we'll go crazy together, right?
No, Mike. That's a terrible idea. Do you want natural-born killers, Mike? Because this is how you get natural-born killers. How the f*** did Jonathan sneak a drunk Nancy past her parents? And Mike. And Will.
Please, will you open the door? I'm gonna freeze to death out here.
Lying to your children about how you might die.
I'm just gonna be out here by myself, eating all this candy. I'm gonna get fat.
First Hop, we love you, but your dad bod is already legendary, and we accept that because TVSins is nothing if not body positive. Second, your original plan was to eat candy and get fat, remember? So it really makes no difference if Elle is right beside you or in her room. Your plan was the same either way.
Could have a heart attack or something.
Being honest with your children about how you might die. Wait, doesn't she need to be in the sensory deprivation tank to do this? She did in season 1. Why can't she just do it with television static here? Also, styling your in-between world for 11 like the movie Under the Skin. I'm not sure exactly how old Dustin is, but I'm pretty sure he's at least knows the difference between a costume proton pack and a real one years old.
University of Maine? But Denise, that's in Maine.
I got it wrong.
Really? You like skateboards?
Went around slandering me, threatening all sorts of madness.
Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
You see these hands?
They look like big, good, strong hands.
Hey, Chief, you copy?
Is there any way I can get off my fingers quickly without betraying my cool exterior?
Yeah, it's just nougat.
Nougat? No. Positive? Please.